to be gotten rid of, the sooner the better. Top to bottom.
Yes, that is exactly what should be done. But you must give me some time, please, Hammy.
Time for what? Just kill the rats. Do you understand? Kill those rats!
Yes.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Outsiders. Today we're going to get it in. We're going to get it on. We're going to have a special co-host. I'm going to be getting in touch with him in just a little bit. Superstar Marvin Doc Cheatham. But man, boy, we're going to get it in. That's how we roll with The Outsiders. F-A-F-O, baby. I don't know why, people. What we have here is failure to communicate. And there's been a failure for me to communicate with some people. Don't you start up with me now here. Don't you do it. Don't you start up with me. Don't you tell fibs. Don't you act like you don't know what's going on. And then you're going to get on there and pop off at the mouth. We were going to have an honored guest of Minister Christina Flowers, and we're going to go over. She was one of my first guests. Boy, it's going on 3 years soon on The Outsiders, and I wanted to have her back on, give us an update of what's been going on with her and the homeless, which she's a huge advocate of. But she had some issues. We couldn't do the show this week, but she's going to be on next week and give us her opinion as well, what's going on within the city and the nonsense going on. So she will be our special guest, but Superstar Doc Cheatham, we're going to be getting in touch with him. And before I do that, just a little bit, and we're going to continue with it as well, I'm going to do a deep dive. I don't know what is the problem with people who want to pop off at the mouth, who for some reason are delusional, think that they are the best thing since sliced bread when it comes to, I guess, the internet radio. They're supposed to be a trailblazer. Their integrity is intact and they are so above board. I've got the receipts and I've got the email that I'm going to read. It's right over here. WOLB's Jason Rodriguez, for whatever reason, wants to keep putting my name in his mouth, and now my wife's. I'm going to straighten things out, because you're going to get the straight skinny here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to play this clip, and then I'm going to discuss it, because we're going to tell it like it is, with the receipts, not shy at all. Circuit court retaliation, lawsuit, federal lawsuit going on regarding that issue and more. The investigations have been started. There's multiple investigations in regards to the whistleblower situation with my wife. MOSH, complaint filed in a MOSH, Maryland Occupational Safety and Health, whistleblower complaint as well. And this taking place during, in a federal lawsuit, getting ready to go to litigation on top of that. So let me go ahead and play it and get it started. Okay, here we go. Cut one.
To a particular issue or topic, because
because for some reason I was accused and slightly slandered this weekend in an email.
Stop. Let me stop right there. See, when you get people who don't know what they're talking about, if you're going to make an accusation about an email, see, if you didn't know, emails are written. So if you're going to make an allegation of slander regarding a written or regarding words that were put down, that's called libel. That's not slander. I learned that a long time ago. I had business law class in college. And prior to that, I knew that. I knew that as a teenager. I knew the difference between libel and slander. And I'm going to show an example of slander a little bit later. But that's called libel. So let's go on. You don't know what you're talking about, Jason. You don't even know the difference between slander and libel, allegation you're making against me. Let me go on.
From my dear brother Sean Sims, and I,
Stop. I'm not your brother. We don't share the same DNA, either physically or spiritually. My Father is in heaven. He's my Father through my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Spiritual DNA adopted into the family because of my belief in Jesus as the only way to the Father, the only way to heaven, the only way to be saved. Period. End of story. Let's go. Let's continue.
I have great respect for everyone in our community, even those that may continue to come after me, like Darren Muhammad, like Sean Sims.
I don't know Darren Muhammad, so I don't know where this guy came from. Cry me a river. People are coming after him. I know they're coming after me. Okay, let's see this coming after. Let's go on.
Whoever decides that they want to come after me,
oh boy.
I've been told if they don't talk about you, then you ain't doing nothing.
You ain't doing
so I'm glad that folks are talking about me, whether they want to talk about me negatively or positively.
Listen to this. Whether they want to talk about me negative, let's go on and continue because the truth is going to come out.
That is totally up to you. I know that my mission is bigger than all of you. My mission is a mission on God. A mission.
Now, delusion of grandeur. Go on, because this is what you call delusions of grandeur. I have a mission. I'm a mission from. Wait, you'll hear the rest. Wow.
Built on God, with the principalities of God. And I know it sounds crazy when I say that sometimes to folks, and I tell folks that it reminds me of the Blues Brothers, when the Blues Brothers told everyone that they were on a mission for God, from God. Well, I am on a mission from God, that for so many years that I lived a destructive life, that I lived a life that projected negative energy into the community. When I was a street cat running the streets, selling drugs, and perpetuating negative energy into our community.
Yeah, I would say selling drugs would kill people, get them addicted, and they die from drugs. My brother got addicted from drugs because of drug dealers dealing drugs. It was on him. He got addicted, got off of it, but he eventually did pass away in 2008. And a lot had to do with it because of the drugs. So, okay, go ahead. So this guy's an ex-drug dealer. Okay, but he got himself together. Good for you. Let's go on.
And my whole purpose and my mission, especially after the Million Man March and getting the orders from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of atonement and embracing the principles of atonement and looking at correcting the negative energy that I put into the community. So my mission is bigger.
The negative energy, again, was drugs. Okay. So let's go on. Negative energy.
Than any naysayers or anybody that wants to come after me. And again, not all the times we are front and center on every issue, and we apologize that we may not be front and center on every issue. I did not know about what was going on currently at the clerk's office in reference to Sean Sims' wife and her being let go. I don't know all the logistics of it. I haven't investigated.
Really? You didn't know anything about what was going on with my wife. I've got receipts to show otherwise. You didn't know what was going on with my wife at the circuit court. You had no idea all this stuff was going on. She was being retaliated against. I've talked about it on my podcast many times, okay, but I've got the email receipts as well. You had no idea. You had a letter from an organization that was sent it out, I guess, to defend my wife. But you had no idea. Okay, let's continue.
I haven't gone forward with it. I know that they called the program on Monday, and anybody is more than welcome to call the program at any time and present their issues. We don't care what the issue may be. We're going to give you a platform here. One of the things that we have changed in reference to the format of this program is that we are trying to be more inclusive. We are trying to be not biased on any particular stance on things. Of course, we have to take a
and I'm going to get to that bias stuff in just a little bit.
Stance when it comes to human rights issues. So, of course, we're going to be a little strong in our advocacy when it comes to DPW workers. But, again, I knew nothing of the plight that had took place in reference to Sean Sims' wife. I will, love to look more into it. I would love to do more of the investigation as an independent journalism program. I have no problem in investigating this and looking more into this.
Why weren't you investigating it prior? Oh, that's right, because you didn't know anything about it, so there was no investigation. So you're an investigator now? Okay, I didn't know he did investigations. I thought he was an engineer and a host of a show. But let's go on.
I do want folks to understand that what Sean Sims put out in reference to email is not a true representation of what this program represents.
Okay, let's get to the email, because he didn't read it on air. He talked about it. Don't sing it, bring it. So I'm going to read the email that was put out. Okay, I'm going to read the email that was put out. Let's see. It's to Jason. I'm going to read it quickly. Transparency and full disclosure. Not you say a few words, you don't back it up, you just, this person said this, they said, no one wants to hear that. What did they say? So here we go. Hello, Jason. As you know now, my wife Teresa Sims' job was terminated by Clerk of the Court Xavier Conaway on April the 2nd, 2025. She filed a complaint with the Maryland Occupational Safety and Health Administration on December the 12th, 2024. Then, after being retaliated against on multiple occasions, including a 10-day suspension on February the 14th, 2025, and being put on an administrative leave on March 11, 2025, she filed a whistleblower complaint because of the retaliatory actions. She also filed a lawsuit, federal lawsuit, in 2023. Which was in pre-settlement negotiations with the attorneys when Xavier fired her, which would make him one of the dumbest human beings. You're in litigation, or you pre-litigate, you're right there, you're talking about negotiating the settlement, they're asking her what would she like to do, etc., between the attorneys, and this complete moron fires her at that point. So anyway, Xavier Conaway came on your show during our interview on December 23rd, 2024. That's when you lowered the volume on my mic when he slandered and defamed my name on your radio show. I'm going to play that a little bit later. On your radio show, The Patrick Henderson Show. Then after I attempted to defend myself, you turned my mic off to allow Xavier to dispute his lies, and that will be dealt with in another venue. With all this said, I and many others truly believe, now listen to what I'm saying, people, because you got to understand, it's not a statement of fact. It's called a belief and an opinion. It's called the First Amendment right to voice your opinion. Even if it's negative about someone, you still have a right to voice your opinion, which is what I'm doing. And I'm doing it based off of the evidence, not just willy-nilly. With all said, I and many others truly believe that you are in the back pocket of the Conaways. Back pocket, I don't know. Something's going on. That's my belief. If you don't like it, Jason, tough. I really don't care if you don't like it. You can whine and cry. Sean Sims, he's coming after me. Oh, Sean Sims. I didn't know anything about his wife. Whine and cry all you want, okay? So my question to you is, did you give out incorrect information, knowingly, on air, regarding where Circuit Court for Baltimore City whistleblowers should go to file health and safety complaints, or was this done because of your lack of knowledge? I believe that those who give the public information as journalists or as truth tellers, wink wink, should do so with integrity, honesty, and truth, not to facilitate a false narrative or aid alleged civil rights violators. Okay, that's what I said. Continue. Make this quick. The correct information is that these state employees, meaning those who work for the Circuit Court for Baltimore City, and your listeners need for you to make a correction. You're giving out information that's not true, it's incorrect. Make it. Isabel Cumming, the Inspector General for Baltimore City, and I called her office today, and they confirmed, no, not where we, Baltimore City Circuit Court employees don't come to us. They confirmed that. It's not the person or agency where these employees should turn to for help. The correction should also include the fact that these workers, again, I must say, are state employees, and then I invite them onto my podcast. Did he make the correction this past April the 14th, Monday, on the Patrick Henderson Show? No, he didn't. And I sent an email out, just did it earlier today. I sent an email Thursday, April the 17th, 10:26 a.m. And this went to Kathy Hughes, she's the owner of Radio 1, and Howard Mazer, he's the president. Good morning, Miss Hughes and Mr. Mazer. I am deeply disturbed that your employee has not made the necessary correction regarding Circuit Court of Baltimore City employees. During a live broadcast on Monday, April 7th, 2025, Jason Rodriguez stated that these employees can go to the Inspector General, Isabel Cumming. The topic had to do with health and safety issues and if they had issues with that, etc., etc., etc. Jason was told that the Maryland Occupational Safety and Health is the correct agency. He knows that. He was written, it was a caller told him that as well. However, he did not make the correction. Journalist integrity is on the line. Sincerely, Sean Sims, host of the Outsiders podcast. Let's see what Kathy does. Because what Howard and Kathy should have done is they should have made their employee make the correction. They should have did their homework. Found out, okay, no, they don't. State employees don't go to Isabel Cumming. Make the correction. And he didn't. So I'm going to continue with this, and I'm going to give Doc a call in just a second.
Represent to the community. I try to use this program to be a good steward to the community. And when I'm out there in the community, I try not to be disrespectful to anybody's advocacy, and are willing to always. It
had nothing to do with being disrespectful to an advocacy. Don't try to misdirect and turn this somewhere else where it's really not. That's not where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be on truth, integrity, journalism. Are you telling the truth? And then you don't. And you don't, and you didn't make the correction. And that's the key. The correction was not made. Why not? I believe that you and the Conaways are connected. That's my belief. You don't like it, you call it aspersion, whatever you want to call it. Others believe it as well. And through you not making the correction, because if the employees of the Circuit Court for Baltimore City were to go to the Maryland Occupational Safety and Health Administration, MOSHA, because they feel as though they may be retaliated against, that's what you do. You did not make that correction and tell him that information. Now let me go. I'm going to go ahead and call Doc now. He's been waiting patiently. The superstar Doc Cheatham. And we're going to talk about his park, and we're going to continue this conversation as well. Truth and integrity. Truth and integrity.
Good morning, God bless you. This is Marvin, Doc Cheatham, please.
Okay, Doc. Got his voicemail. I'm going to give Doc a call again. But truth and integrity. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Hey, Doc.
Hello.
Yeah, we got the podcast on.
Hello.
Doc. Doc, can you hear me?
Hello. I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay, we're on the podcast. We already started. I was talking about, I was into what happened with Jason Rodriguez of WOLB 1010. I called him out to make a correction. He stated that the Circuit Court for Baltimore City employees should go to Isabel Cumming, the Inspector General, if they have an issue about safety and health, and that's incorrect. That's the wrong information. They're not city employees, they're state employees, and they should go to the Maryland Occupational Safety and Health Administration if they believe they're going to be retaliated against, especially for that complaint. And he did not make the correction this past Monday, April the 14th, and I have a concern about that. Do you believe that there should be journalistic integrity when you're making statements?
Well, I would say this, that, there are different means to approach what's being done. I would say probably the quickest and most expeditious route maybe to go to the president of Radio 1.
Oh, as a matter of fact, Doc, let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to tell you quickly because I literally just read the email I sent to Kathy Hughes, the owner of Radio 1, and Howard Mazur, the president, and that's what I did. I brought up the issue about the live broadcast and the correction needed to be made. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what happens.
I would think probably the most expeditious route might be to go directly to Howard Mazur to see what his approach is, because I think it behooves him as the president of Radio 1 to see that it's addressed as quickly as he can, because it can cause even further discussions and further legal actions. It's shown that, it was brought to his attention that he did nothing. So I would say take that chance to speak directly to Mr. Mazur, and maybe one of the things that could be done is to sit down with Jason and see what can be rectified.
Okay, I have no problem with that, with getting a situation rectified. I'll give Howard Mazur a call as well. He did get the email. I did send that out at 10:26 this morning, and we're going to continue on that because I'm deep diving the issues. But the reason why, and I was there at the park, Matthew Henson Park. It's been 10 years, Doc, and you've done a great job getting a pocket park set up. And Jeff Abel was there, WBAL was there, Fox was there, and you had some, Dr. Louise Johnson was there, Crystal Jackson was there, many organizations and agencies were there. And just tell the folks what happened and how your park is doing and plans for the future.
Oh, you're very kind. I would say this. It's been 10 years. 10 years ago, almost to the day, when the incident took place, a block and a half around the corner in the 1700 block of Pressbury, where Freddie Gray was, and I guess the best way I can address it, he was assaulted. He was assaulted by the police. They put him in the paddy wagon, and what I felt then, it was reminding me of what happened in 1968. This bottom part that we have, this was a Jewish neighborhood. This was a Jewish neighborhood that has been transformed since 1945 to 1955. It is now a predominantly black neighborhood. And what has happened here is that because of the poor elected officials that we have, Antonio Hayes, the state senator, and the city councilman, James Torrance, they've literally done nothing for this neighborhood. They don't know this neighborhood. They haven't visited with this neighborhood. They're concerned about middle-class black folks like Reservoir Hill and what's the other place up there, Ashburton. They're worried about middle-class black folks, but they're not concerned about poor black folks. So I had, quite a few nightmares. I'm not going to call them dreams. They were nightmares.
Wow.
That this was about to be 1968 all brought back together again because our community was in an uproar. And sadly enough, and I would say 99% of the news reporters don't know the circumstance. Everybody wants to go to Penn North to deal with the incident that happened. But most of the damage happened starting at Fulton, not at Pennsylvania Avenue. It started at Fulton. Pennsylvania had 5 incidents. We had 15, 3 times as many.
Wow.
And, we decided as a community, and I decided as the troublemaker, is to create a park. Thanks to the funds coming from Governor Hogan and Lieutenant Governor Rutherford, they provided us with funding. We basically, captured what we saw at the 1,000 block of Strickland Street. They demolished everything that was in that block. But at the end of the day, all they did was put up one tree and some benches, and that was it. And I told the governor and lieutenant governor and Mr. Mitchell, who was working for the governor, was that I would like to do the same thing, but I would like to turn that whole block into something. And 2 years later, it's a sight to be seen. We got people of Hispanic ethnicity, black ethnicity, Greek ethnicity coming to this park and playground on a regular basis. They're getting along with each other, and crime and violence has gone in the other direction. No help from the mayor, no help from the governor, and we're saying the community basically did this on our own, and with, of course, the blessing of the Almighty. But 10 years have gone by. It's a sight to be seen, folks. If you have not seen the 1500 block of McKean, I will put this entire block up against any community block where they have done the rehabilitation of a neighborhood, and that's what we've done here. And I'm proud of the folks that are here, but I'm sad to say I lost 11 people on my board of directors. 7 of them passed away last year, all different causes.
Wow.
I had 2 of my folks get rearrested. It's sad what has happened to my community because my leadership has disappeared, not on their own, but through other circumstances. But the park is a sight to be seen. And the only thing I didn't mention to the people on Tuesday was that we have purple solar lights all throughout the park. It's a sight to be seen. You'll be proud, no matter what type of ethnicity you are, you would be proud to come and see this park, how clean it is, how safe it is, and the improvements that are being made. Many people come here, I would say at least 20, 25 events every year. We let folks have activities here. And as long as they're not charging something for it, we try to get this park to them for their usage at very little, if not no cost at all.
Well, the park is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they fixed it up. The play areas for the kids are great, fantastic. And what you have that what is that? What is that big overhang thing we ran under when it started raining? You put that in.
The same company that built the playground area for us, I forget the different names that they use for it, but it's like a coverage.
It was great.
I now have people got tables under it now. Folks, it's impressive. It's impressive. And, you know, we said we did this in the absence of State Senator Antonio Hayes. We did this in the absence of Councilman James Stewart. They have literally done nothing for this neighborhood. And I really think both of them need to resign. They need to ask to resign because the community is being forgotten. And they're worried about middle-class sections in West Baltimore, but where there are folks who have low income, they could really give a damn about our community. And I'm sad to say it, but I'm trying to tell lies. I might as well just tell the truth. And the last thing that I would tell you is that we have up on our stage a sign that captures what we voted on as a community on September 30th, 2020. And it basically indicates all the things that this community needs that we've lost as a result of our good brothers, Jewish, that have left and moved to, many of them moved to the Park Heights area. Well, we don't have many businesses at all here, and there's some things that we need. But sad enough, when you have a state senator named Antonio Hayes, and he's going around telling folks that the community didn't vote on it, well, the community did vote on it. And I really think, I hate to say this, but I'm going to tell it, and I'm going to tell it next Wednesday when I testify in front of the city council. I really think that the naming of a portion of that park is an insult to the lady that you named it after. Miss Powell, I do not believe, will want the kids not to have a skateboard park, and you're going to name something after her and basically try to cover up for the injustices done by Senator Antonio Hayes and Councilman James Stewart. You know, they basically stopped the first black skateboard park in the state of Maryland, and he's basing it on a lie. There is a printed document that tells you what the community voted on or who was in it. And one of the names of the people that was on my board, she's, God rest her soul, she passed away, but she was the secretary, Miss Margaret Powell. I think Mrs. Powell doesn't want that park named after her, and you basically stop kids, black kids, from having a skateboard park. And I'm going to testify to that on Wednesday. I'm going to say from my vantage point, I've only known Ms. Powell since 1968. I don't think she would condone the skateboard park being thrown aside and you try to cover of it and basically say, oh, we're going to name the park after her. I don't think she would like that. I really don't think she would approve of you doing away for something for black kids and putting a name on it.
I think that's a disgrace. It doesn't surprise me with Hayes, this Antonio Hayes character. Doesn't surprise me at all. The elected officials in Baltimore City, which I believe is one of the most corrupt city organizations in the country, the state of Maryland, what's going on with Westmore and the taxes and fees that are being put on the backs of Marylanders. A lot of people are leaving the state. You have representatives or delegates or state senators, whatever, who are going to Annapolis, who are giving the citizens in the Baltimore City and in the state of Maryland, giving them the shiv, okay, then getting in front of the camera, acting like they're the best thing since sliced bread. And I have another example of that. Now, we'll see what's going to happen, Doc. I'm going to play the clip. I was on yourself. You were actually guest hosting, and of course, Carlton Douglas is the host of the Frank Conaway Senior Show. And I'm going to play a clip of that, and I want your opinion because it seemed to me, I might be wrong, but you wanted to do something, and I don't know. I'm going to play the clip, and you tell me what you think about it. And this is the Carlton Douglas, Frank Conaway Senior Show.
We have about 10
Okay.
minutes. Let's go to Sean. Sean, you on there? Hey, Carlton, how's it going, Doc? Sean says with the plate. Hey, look, I want to get this in. I know I don't have a whole lot of time, but this is really important. The NAACP, and I'm going to roll back around to that because this is where the show started. Back in 2007, we
had an edict, whereas the First Amendment, and this is the NAACP's edict, whereas the First Amendment protects speech on matters of public concern, and whereas the current federal and where applicable state whistleblowers protection laws do not adequately protect employee whistleblowers, whereas Congress has made no effort to protect government employees who report misconduct, fraud, corruption. They still have not extended full protection to truth tellers, and therefore be it resolved that the NAACP advocates that congressional and Senate committee hearings be held to discuss the protections that whistleblowers are lacking. Therefore, be it finally resolved that the NAACP supports the whistleblower provisions found in H.R. 1317 and H.R. 5112. The bottom line is this. The NAACP has done nothing to protect the whistleblowers, and this was back in 2007 that they said that. I voted in a convention. I have reached out to the NAACP for 5 years, and what's going on with the circuit court, the state, and what's going on there, and the safety and health hazards, and we reached out, and they have done absolutely nothing. I have quit the NAACP. It is a gelding organization. Doc, when you were running it, you were doing an absolutely fantastic job, and kudos to you. You should be back running it. You should be back heading the Baltimore NAACP.
John, I voted for that bill, and it was in 2007. I was the local president. I remember the issue.
Yes, and they have done nothing to protect employees who just want to stand up for their rights, and they have elected officials who are going after them. And yes, Xavier Conaway is the person, and he's the person. It's a state agency. It's not a city agency, and people need to know that. And the state, there are other state employees who are whistleblowers, and they've been fired and attacked and retaliated against, and the NAACP has done nothing to help them.
Okay. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Ouch. That hurts. Now, I have on several occasions invited Xavier Conaway on these airwaves to come on to explain what's going on down there. That invitation is still open. The word on the street is discrimination against women. Well, that's the word on the street. Okay. If you hold, quickly, please. Xavier?
Hello, Brother Carlton. Hello, Doc Cheatham. It's an honor to speak with you today. I just wanted to jump in. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I heard the circuit court was mentioned, and I'd love to pick up your opportunity to speak about a lot of the accomplishments we've done in the circuit court of Baltimore City, and ensure that we can discuss all the concerns that anyone has about what's going on, how we can continue to serve the public, and all the accomplishments we made to improve services such as make the court electronic, free Wi-Fi to the public, credit card machines, and historic investment for parking for the employees. So I'm always willing to talk, and I know you're short on time, but next show I'm willing and ready to speak to you both if you have any questions for me.
Yeah, would you like to come on the show next week? Well, I won't be on next week because it's Good Friday. But the following week, which is the 26th, 25th, I think. Is it 25th? Let's see. The day is the 25th. Would you like to come on live?
Yes, that would be perfect.
Okay, we'll see you on that following Friday. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you both. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Great day.
All right. Okay. Put that on your calendar. Today is 11th. Next week is 18th. On that. Well, I know you don't come here on Good Fridays, but I'll pay for the show. No. I do the show on Friday. No, ain't nobody. I know you don't do that on Good Friday. Okay.
Okay. Wow. I'll pay for the show. No. I know you guys didn't, the show ended after that, but I'm going to continue that call and what happened. Doc, when Xavier called in, and the people who work at the circuit court, information I'm getting, they hate him. I don't mean they dislike him. I mean it's a hatred. Okay? He didn't say anything or mention anything about the topic. The topic was retaliation, unsafe workplace, discrimination on his part, and he's talking about parking. What do you think of that situation?
Well, I had a very interesting and always thought-provoking conversation, and I'm talking about the conversation I had this morning with Linda Batts, who is one of the most intellectual folks that I've ever met in my life. We had a very strong discussion today, and something happened in the news that I think we need to follow. One, I've learned a lot that lawsuits help. And so I know that our mayor likes to sue people, and I like to sue people when I can't get city agencies to do what they should do. And today, the president, it may have happened yesterday, the president of the city council announced that he wants to start an oversight commission. And Linda and I had a good discussion, and we're suggesting on your show, Sean. We want to announce it, and hopefully we'll get communities that want to join in asking, or I guess really demanding, of the president of the city council, since he wants an oversight commission dealing with the gas and electric, we want an oversight commission dealing with the culture that is toxic in Baltimore City, and with the subhuman working conditions. We don't want the city council to continue covering their asses for what they've not done in the last 10, 15 years. Well, I better say 5, 10, 15, because some of them haven't been around 10 years. But the lack of them doing anything, we're going to suggest that since the president of the city council is asking for an oversight commission, we are requesting an oversight commission to deal with the clerks in Baltimore City, to deal with the Department of Government Services, and to deal with DPW.
I agree.
We want an oversight commission to be appointed, maybe 2 or 3 people from each city council district. We don't want a whole bunch of yes people,
no.
And that's all we are hearing from in these commissions and hearings that they're having about DPW, the clerks, and the Department of Government Services. We don't want the same shuck and jive, folks. City council people covering for themselves on what they've not done now that this whole thing has been exposed. We're asking for an oversight commission to look into the clerks, DPW, government services, and this had a monthly report to the president of the council on what's going on, and the month before next year, the next time we have an election of city council, let's do a report on the city council and the president of the city council. Let's do a report on whether or not they were successful or unsuccessful in addressing toxic culture and subhuman conditions. Let's stop letting these city council people, lie to us, offer for themselves. We even had one council person, he went against the Inspector General, which he was telling the truth. The unions had failed them. But I'm going to say this, and I'll close with this. You people working for the clerk's office, you people working for the Department of Government Services, you people working for the Department of Public Works, damn it, you got to get some backbone. Y'all listen a bitch about everything, but when it comes to y'all doing something, you're not doing it. You got to fight for yourselves. You people are acting weak. You're acting weak. Martin Luther King and those folks back who marched during the bus strike, those were active people who did something. Many of you folks, and I'm saying most of you black men, all y'all doing is kissing a bitch and not getting anything done. You're scared to even get a new union, but you walk doing a damn thing to help yourselves. And I'm saying people like me are getting tired of fighting for people who won't fight for themselves. Yorks of Baltimore, DPW for Baltimore, DGS for Baltimore, damn it, y'all gotta fight for yourselves. We will help you, but we can't do the fighting all by ourselves, and y'all sitting back scared to do any damn thing. Y'all are an embarrassment right now. All of y'all are complaining, but y'all don't do a damn thing about it.
I agree.
I'm so passionate about it, but I'm too old to be sitting here shucking and jiving with you folks.
I agree, Doc. I am 100% in agreement. We're out here. I'm doing this podcast. My wife got fired from her job. She's been retaliated against for almost 5 years. Actually, it's been 5 years. Okay, almost to the day where she's been retaliated against, had these people coming after her. Then Xavier got in. He's worse than the other clerks, Bentley and the others. He's worse. Gets in on the radio because that's his granddad's station that his granddaddy was on. I had a granddaddy too, boy. But I'm not going to embarrass my grandfather by doing people the dirty, hurting people, retaliating against them, doing all kinds of nonsense. And they won't fight for themselves. And I spoke to one of the people who's there. I have several contacts at the circuit court. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm getting tired of fighting for you people, and you're not doing anything. You're not doing nothing. My wife is. I know a few other people who have actually fought back, and there are a few, Doc, but they're keeping quiet. And y'all need to come out and start fighting, and then if he comes after you, you need to sue his ass, like my wife did. You need to take his ass to court, all of them. Take the state of Maryland, take Xavier County, all of them, the whole lot of them, like we're doing, because my wife stood up for her rights. You people should be calling her and thanking her. Thank you for getting this out so that we know about that. People know what's going on. But you're not even doing that. And then you can write a letter. Hey, listen here, folks. This is not rocket science. You can take a piece of paper and a pen, anonymously write a letter. All the crap that's going on. You can rip Xavier Conaway another one. Write a letter, send it to your congressman, send it to the city council people, send it to the Maryland Occupational Safety and Hazard people, send it out to whoever you want to send it out to. Send it to WBAL TV, send it to Fox 45. Get their investigative reporters involved. Write a letter, do a letter campaign anonymously. So that way you don't have to worry about being scared about retaliated against. And that's how you do it. Do something. But to sit on your backsides and why myself, my wife, Doc Cheatham, Bishop Barry Chapman, and others are out there fighting for you, and you're not fighting back, and you're not doing anything. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of fighting for you people, and you're not doing anything. One thing I can't stand is a yellow-bellied coward. I can't stand a coward. My dad was an Army Ranger. Honor. You hear that, Anthony Brown, Attorney General? Something you don't know about. It's called honor. Honor. And these people right now, with the cowardice that they're showing, and not even reaching out, not doing anything, other than a few people. I can't say their names. But other than that, it's a disgrace. It's disgusting. Watch this slave plantation mandate. Yes, Master, we can't say nothing because Master Xavier, he gonna whip us with the retaliation bullwhip, and we can't say anything, because Master Xavier. Forget that crap. This is 2025. This ain't what 1860. Do something. That's what I have to say about that.
It's time that we reach this point that, we have so many people who have our skin color, but they're not doing anything. And I'm saying, folks, it's never too late to get actively involved. The fight that you may fight may not only help you, but it may in fact help others that are suffering and going through this toxic culture, dealing with this subhuman working conditions. You got to come together and you got to do it now. Things are not going to get better. They're only going to get worse. when they realize that black people, black men and black women, and I want to say for the most part, black men, that all y'all doing is shucking and jiving and talking. Y'all do a whole lot of damn talking, but at the end of the day, y'all can't say that y'all done anything constructive.
Exactly.
I'm saying, folks, sooner or later it's going to knock on your door, and you're going to be begging someone to help you. And I'm saying, we're at that point. We're at that point that these city people feel comfortable. You know, I'm looking at trucks riding from the Rosemont area. They're coming with trucks with dirt, and they're hauling dirt back and forth.
Again?
And guess what? It's coming from two black neighborhoods, Ashburton and Harlan. They're back to dumping contaminated dirt in the Rosemont neighborhood. Now, my neighborhood is a part of Rosemont, but these trucks aren't dumping in my neighborhood. They're dumping in Ashcote East, Cotton Heights. Ashcote East, Cotton Heights. Antonio Hayes knows about it.
Wow.
James Scott knows about it. And I'm saying, black folks, this stuff is going to start knocking on your door, and it's going to be too damn late for you to do anything. If you're sitting back thinking somebody else is going to help you, and you're not going to help yourself.
Well, they need to do something. We're going to keep on it. And young Xavier, who this kid who's a clerk of the court changed his name to get in. Full disclosure, if Carlton won't disclose it, well, I'm going to disclose it right now. Carlton Douglas is the person who the Conaway family went to when Xavier, they decided they were going to run him as an advisor. Now, is that a conflict of interest? You have a show, you can do that, bring them on, but you need to let people, me saying it is one thing. And Carlton, I'm calling you out. And he's a friend of the family. I'm calling you out. You need, what is with these people and this not telling people things and keeping stuff secret and quiet? You need to, if you didn't do it before, I haven't heard you done it, but before you bring him on, or when you bring Xavier on, I don't know if you're going to sneak him on this Friday, Good Friday, or bring him on the following Friday. I'll be listening both Fridays, okay? You need to let people know that. Next Friday, okay. I want to make sure. See, I cover all the rocks and stones, and I make sure, and I put it out there just in case. But I tell you what, you need to let the people know that you were, whatever, their advisors, and give full disclosure before you bring that kid on, and he's only going to talk about parking and electronic court, and there's Wi-Fi. Electronic court and parking and Wi-Fi. But nobody wants to hear that crap. You're saying it over and over and over again. Like a doll, you pull a string and then you let the string go. Parking, I got him parking. It's historic parking. Wi-Fi, electronic court, I set it up. That's all you hear from this kid. No, ask him the tough questions, Carlton, and I'm going to see what kind of host you are. This is a challenge. Carlton, I'm challenging you. Sean Sims is challenging Carlton Douglas. When you bring him on that show, because he'll never come on my show because he doesn't have the cojones. He's got little BBs. He'll never come onto my show, but he's going to go onto your show because you're friends of the family. And I dare you to challenge him with questions about the discrimination, harassment, the federal lawsuit, the most complaints, the rats. See, I want to see if you do that, or I'm going to see if you're going to be a cupcake and give him a little cupcake questions.
One of the things that we could do that may be of some help in this situation, I really think a number of you, if you're hearing this broadcast, if you're hearing other broadcasts, one of the things I think we need to do is we need to contact the health department and let's all ask on the phone or email or whatever way you communicate. We want an investigation, health-wise, of the clerks of Baltimore City, their workplace. We want a health investigation.
Full investigation.
That can't get you scared black folks from saying anything. All you got to ask for, we would like to have a health investigation. It could be OSHA, it could be EEOC, but we're asking for the health of the workers that are working in these different city agencies. Let's look for and let's ask for a health investigation.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Y'all gotta have balls enough just to say that we want a health investigation. Y'all shouldn't be scared to do that, especially you damn black men with all this damn mouth you got.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of mouth.
They got no little union.
Yeah, they had a lot.
You don't want to belong to the union, but you won't come and get another union.
They got a lot of mouth, and I'll tell you what, the Maryland Occupational Safety and Health Administration, when my wife put in a complaint about the rats that Xavier denied, oh no, that's false allegation, that's false. The rats, the asbestos, the lead, there's people that are getting sick, and I believe they've been getting sick and dying from the information people have been telling me for years. The filthiness, the carpets, the bacteria, carpets haven't been cleaned, lead in the walls, all this is going on. And did most go down there and do an investigation? Did they go to the area, to the Mitchell building, and do an investigation on site? No, they did not. And that is a disgrace. And I called them out on that. You didn't send anybody down there. You had the DGS, Department of General Services, just send you a letter, and I got the receipts. And they said, oh, everything's just fine. And the motion, oh, well, they said everything's fine, so that's good enough for us. Are you serious? You get federal funding? And this is what you do. They didn't send anyone down there, Doc, to do an on-site investigation after the rats, the Legionnaire's bacteria, the allegations of bacterial Legionnaire's is a fact. The news covered that. And all the discrepancies of safety and health, and most did not send anyone down there. That is a disgrace, and I believe it should be a liability issue. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look into it as a liability issue. That's what they didn't do, Doc. So even if you get people to complain, you got to make sure that they still actually go and do the investigation. Full investigation. At that location.
I'm just asking folks, I know I'm very passionate about this, but I've gone through this so long. We got to tell folks, drop your buckets where you are. Wherever you are, no matter what the circumstance is, if things are not going the way you think they should go, then you got to say something to somebody. You can't just keep it to yourself. You can't say, I'm afraid I might lose my job. You might lose your damn job anyway.
Yeah.
So we're telling you, folks, if you don't get up and say something, get up and do something. The song used to be by Ashford and Simpson. You got to get up and do something. But right now, y'all are an embarrassment. Black men and black women working for these city agencies, y'all are an embarrassment.
And the state agency.
About the damn thing, but you're not doing anything.
And the state agency. The Circuit Court for Baltimore City is a state agency. So you people working for the state as well and Baltimore City, it is an embarrassment. You should be embarrassed to have the slave plantation situation that you're working in, and you won't say anything about it, and you won't even write an anonymous letter to news organizations or someone. Nobody will know who you are. It's a disgrace. People should be ashamed of yourselves. That's what I think. They should be. Doc, we're going to be listening to Carlton Douglas Show. I'll put the challenge out to you, Carlton. You got my number. I got yours. You can call me anytime, brother. You can call me anytime. But I put the challenge out to you, one host to another host. Are you going to stay on topic about what's going on with the allegations and the federal lawsuit and the allegations of what's going on at the circuit court, discrimination, the rats, the retaliation, etc.? Are you going to do the right thing as a host and ask those questions, tough questions? I don't want to hear anything about no damn parking. I don't want to hear anything about any MDEC, and we'll be dealing with the MDEC too, how that got set up, how somebody's going to be in big trouble because of the fiscal fraud that was perpetrated that got that set up, okay? I don't want to hear anything about some damn Wi-Fi. I don't want to hear that crap, and people don't want to hear it either. We want to hear the clerk of the court, the so-called elected official, talk about the serious allegations, multiple allegations. Doc, you said 11 women. I thought it was more people than 11 women. But we want to hear that and talk about that. What does he have to say about that? That's the challenge that Sean Sims is putting out to Carlton Douglas, and the other challenge to the other WOLB host, Jason Rodriguez, is to make that correction because they go to the Maryland Occupational Safety and Health Administration when they're in fear of retaliation if they want to make a complaint about safety violations and health issues. Doc, thanks for being on. It was, I think we let people know what for. I think we gave them what for on this show.
We're giving them the rest of the story, folks, and you know, I can't apologize that I'm so passionate about it.
No.
You know, some of us feel, you know, we've done almost as much as we can, and we just need some of you to stop talking so darn much and start doing something. And I'll close with this. You folks with these dogs walking through our communities and your dogs are shitting, you're acting shit about shitting on them.
Shiza. Yeah, pick up the mess, people. I mean, be clean. But on that note, boy, what a note to end on. Easter's coming up. My Lord and Savior's resurrection. You got Good Friday, the resurrection. Hey, no resurrection, then we're all doomed. Oh, man. Boy, would I be in trouble. But anyway, thanks a lot, Doc.
I appreciate it.
Okay, take care, and I'll talk to you later.
All righty.
Okay. Okay, folks, that was another episode of The Outsiders. And I'm going to keep on what's going on with these people. They shucking and jiving, being phony. And you employees with the Circuit Court for Baltimore City, the DPW people, they're coming out. They're speaking up now. Okay. But the Circuit Court for Baltimore City employees, wow. Can you say plantation slaves? Can you say house and field Negroes? Niggas? Can you say house and field Negroes? Oh, he said the N-word, Negroes. Oops, I am sorry. Can you say that? Do something about it. And stop shucking and jiving. And now on that note, God bless, happy Resurrection Day to all. And continue. Hit like, people. I'm not one of those. Hit the like button and send the show to other people. We're getting more and more. We're getting several thousand views and more. We're on Twitter. Twitter is getting hit. I'm getting Twitter hits in the tens of thousands. And the show is getting more popular. More people are finding out about The Outsiders. And thanks for my peeps. Just hit the like button and subscribe. We need more subscribers. We're almost at 1,000. We're going to keep rolling. Anyway, take care, everyone, and God bless.
Exterminated. The rats? Filthy, disgusting, disease-ridden rats, and I can't tolerate even the thought of them. They have to be gotten rid of.